Coming up on this week's travel show.
We're in Colombia, exploring the legacy of one of the country's most controversial criminals.
We're here at Pablo's Prison / five-star resort.
Oh, oops. Did I just make that man crash?
I hit the road in Tokyo, taking tourists for a ride.
They look a bit shell-shocked.
And Global Gadgets gives you the lowdown on how to take a selfie from up in the sky.
Hello and welcome to The Travel Show, coming to you this week from Tokyo in Japan with me, Carmen Roberts, where a little later on in the show I'll be trying my hand at pulling one of the iconic rickshaws that weaves its way through the streets here. But first...
We're in Medellin, in the northwest of Colombia. 2 decades ago, it was one of the most dangerous cities in the world, as the notorious drug lord Pablo Escobar waged war against the government. Now, the city has been transformed, but for many tourists who come here, the fascination with Escobar endures. We traveled to his hometown to find out how tours about his life are dividing public opinion there.
We're still scared, and still are scared to come to Colombia, especially Medellin. For a long time, it was the most violent city in the world. We're here at La Catedral, Pablo's Prison / five-star resort. La Catedral was a jail that Escobar built for himself, and which was part of the agreement with the government that he would turn himself in, but he would come to his jail. In here, they still got some of the remains of what used to be his bed, the frame. Pretty big bed. If you look in here, there's a plaque on the wall with little white crosses, and that's a memorial to, I think, the amount of people they think were killed here when Pablo was here. Right here, he kept people that you saw on the little white crosses. And they say what he would do, he would clap his hands in the morning, all right, you know where you're going, let's go. He'll take them back here by the backside of the property and push them off a cliff. So this is the view he would see over his domain. At that time, Pablo ran Medellin. Medellin was his. This tour has become very controversial, even with the mayor here in Medellin. You know, I can understand that because they lived through some terrible times. Some people trying to glorify this guy, and they actually got a name for it. They call it narco-tourism.
How do you feel about the Pablo Escobar tours?
I don't feel good. We try, don't keep those memories anymore. Please respect us as a people, as a city. We don't want it to think anymore about Pablo Escobar. Coming to see how we are now. We born again.
Yo tengo una vitrinita con artículos de Pablo. Todos los días somos muy visitados por gente de muchos países. Y realmente hay gente que es muy fans de él. Me ha tocado gente pues que todo el mundo viene, yo quiero este, porque son muy devotos a Pablo. Otros que vienen simplemente por curiosidad. Porque todos vienen con la curiosidad de lo que él hizo, entonces quieren como conocer su historia. Así sea buena o mala.
In the beginning, I didn't want to come on the tour because I was like, should I go on the tour? Because you're giving money to something that created such devastation in the past. More tourists know about it, the more around the world it gets, and the more real it actually is. And I think that the kids of Colombia also need to learn about him. So I think it should actually be a school tour as well, possibly, not just for tourists.
Now we're headed to Barrio Pablo Escobar, and that's the actual name of the neighborhood, where he built 300 plus houses for these people that were living in the city dump. He went and got them out of the dump and gave each of these families their own house. Well, as you can imagine, people here love him. You might not make it out of here if you come up here talking bad about Escobar.
Lo primero es que sean bienvenidos al barrio, pero hay una condición para estar acá. Es que acá solamente se habla bien de Pablo Escobar. Nosotros estamos muy agradecidos con la gente que está haciendo el tour de Pablo Escobar, porque le están mostrando al mundo lo bueno que era Pablo Escobar, lo importante que era Pablo Escobar para Colombia.
Right here, we're at Pablo's grave. There's the man right here, the final resting spot. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. I've had one group come and wanted to sniff cocaine off the tombstone. I was like, man, you do whatever you want. It's up to you. That's what you want to do. Fine. I don't tell them they can do it or they can't do it. It ain't my cemetery. As you can see people here taking selfies, or you can sit here all afternoon and you just see people coming and going to come see this grave. It's part of the history here. I don't think we should forget what happened in that era and how all that came about.
Time now for our global gourmet, and this week we're in the Parisian market district of Les Halles for a masterclass in how to create one of France's favorite pastries.
My name is Gaspard de Malézieux and I'm the founder of l'Atelier de l'Eclair. I started, I was 19 years old. It was in 2012. And my idea was to have a new challenge and to create something new. I loved the pastry, the eclair, and I said there's no any stores in Paris who sells a good eclair. This special machine, so you can do very beautiful eclair. You can do it by hand, but we do like 500 eclairs per day. So to have the same eclair, we need a machine like this, and you will see how it works. And you have very, very beautiful eclair with this little machine. Here we are in the it's called Les Halles in Montorgueil. It's at the origin in Paris. It's in the second district. It's really in the center of Paris. eclair was invented in France by Marie-Antoine Carême, like 200 years ago. In France, the eclair is the most popular pastry. For several years, it has been elected the most favorite pastry. And when you are young, it's the pastry every children knows and wants to eat because you have chocolate. To have the best quality, everything is made here every morning. We have only one store in Paris, so we can control everything. We have always chocolate, salted butter caramel and vanilla that are the most popular one. But after we have some original flavors, like we can have matcha eclair, we can have Mont Blanc like chestnut cream. There's one that works a lot, it's a raspberry blackcurrant. We created more than 100 flavors of eclairs. There's a lot of stages in creating an eclair. There's the choux pastry, the cream, and after the decoration. But if the choux pastry is not good, after you won't have a good eclair. And we have several sizes of eclair. We have small eclairs, regular eclair, and giant eclairs. It's an eclair for 8 persons, for Christmas, for a birthday.
Still to come here on the travel show.
Hello, BBC Travel.
We meet the team who are travelling the world by rickshaw.
So don't go away. The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading.
This is Tower Bridge, one of London's tourism crown jewels. But if you watch the people who've come to see it, they've got one thing on their minds.
This week, it's all about selfies. So we're taking a look at some of the tech that might help you take better snaps.
First, a way to get a bit more distance between you and the camera. Sometimes you need a wider perspective. The Air Selfie is an ultra-light flying camera with built-in Wi-Fi, which connects to an app on your phone.
It also gets its power from this case that you'll get in the box. And at 61 grams, it's pretty lightweight. So in theory, that makes it easy to fly. But on a day like this, the wind keeps getting it, which means I keep having to chase it. The Air Selfie, it's a cool contraption and a nice idea, but unless you're flying it in completely non-windy surroundings, you can pretty much forget it. And what you've got to remember as well, it's still classified a drone, which means in some parts of the world, it's illegal to fly it in built-up areas. The most popular way to get yourself into the frame properly is by investing in one of these. It's called a selfie stick.
So how much should I spend on a new stick and what features should I be looking out for? My new friend Jahel leads smartphone photography tours.
Pretend you're not looking. You can also pretend you're not looking, you know? Casual, like...
So if anyone will know, she will.
If you're thinking of taking them on your trips, I think it's very important that we take something that we're comfortable with. For example, I got this anchor. One is really compact, you see, it will fit on your pocket and your bag, yeah, or in your carry-on luggage, and it's not heavy.
So the feel?
Have a feel?
Oh wow, yeah, that's nice and light.
But also, let's look at the clamp. We have this from a corner shop. It's very wobbly.
Ooh, I can see that it's wobbly.
There's new phones coming out right now that are worth 600 pounds, 700 pounds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know, go cheap on the selfie stick.
Oh, yeah.
If it's gonna risk.
Yeah, the material feels really cheap as well.
It feels cheap. And then if you are like more into serious outdoorsy situations, sports, adventure, you may want to try this Polar Pro.
Whoa, that is a beast.
And the great thing about it is that you can recharge your phone and your GoPro here, or your headphones.
Straight from the stick, that's
cool. 2 USB ports.
And I'm guessing this bit's waterproof, which is
so it's waterproof. You can go underwater, you can do water sports, go fishing, whatever you want.
Okay, so how much does something like this cost?
80 to 100 pounds.
Whoa, that's a lot of money for a selfie stick.
Yeah, because it's more than a selfie stick. And
True.
You can be powering your phone for about 12 hours of battery. If you're definitely sure you're gonna be using this a lot, then go for it. But if you're starting and you just want to experiment, I'll go with a safe option.
But if you want a little something extra from your selfies, here's our final tip.
So this is the Gyroptic IO, a pocket-friendly camera that shoots 360-degree photos and stills and live streams to popular platforms like YouTube and Facebook. It's really easy to use. That's mainly because there's no setup process. Simply take the device, plug it into the bottom of your iPhone. It then fires up the dedicated application. So the minute you fire up the app, you're met with the option to take a photo, shoot video, or do a live stream. All pretty simple stuff here. I can easily pan around my surroundings. There's the cameraman, wave, say hi. There's the ice cream van. Now, compared to other devices on the market that are a bit bigger and a bit clunkier, this probably feels like a bit of a godsend, although the fact that it plays nice with Apple only isn't going to be to everyone's favour. And the quality, as far as I can see, is pretty good. But for the price, you've really got to ask yourself, is this something you're really going to use?
Now come to Tokyo and you're surrounded by so many iconic sights and sounds, but maybe none is more Japanese than the hand-pulled rickshaw.
In other cities around the world, tourist rickshaws are sometimes seen as an unregulated menace. But here in Asakusa in Tokyo, the hand-pulled carts are a much-loved symbol of the city. They're so iconic, in fact, that there's a boy band dedicated to the rickshaw. Plus, there's another group of drivers who have become social media stars as they document their rickshaw journey around the world. At the moment, they're in Cambodia.
Hello, we wish you travel. I'm Yuji. I'm Ken.
My name's Ken.
Their aim is to introduce people to Japanese culture before the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2020.
You just can't believe it because, when we say we travel around the world, we just only running. People think, oh, you guys are crazy. Next year we're going to Africa and Mexico. The final year we're going to USA and Australia. And 2020 we got Tokyo Olympics, so we're supposed to be a part of Tokyo Olympic opening ceremony. We want a lot of people come to our country on 2020.
See you guys soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
You can follow the team's epic journey on social media. But if you want to try a hand-pulled rickshaw for yourself, there's no better place than Asakusa in Tokyo.
Hi, Irene.
Hi. Hajimemashite.
I've come down to meet one of the city's few female rickshaw drivers.
So, Irene, how did you get into this career?
I like the marathon.
Oh, okay.
Full marathon. And I went to Honolulu Marathon, Vancouver Marathon, many marathon race. So one day I saw the rickshaw in Asakusa. Oh, this is my job. I felt like destiny.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
The rickshaw, or jinriksha as they're called here, was invented in Tokyo in the 19th century. Irie's boss told me how things have changed since then.
The rickshaw used to be like a taxi a long time ago, but now it's more for entertainment. A good rickshaw driver needs to quickly feel what the customer wants to do. Some people want to be entertained, some people want to see the scenery, some people want to listen to the guide, so it depends on the customer.
Okay, but first we got to look the part. So you've got me a uniform.
Yeah, this is our uniform.
Okay, here we go.
And then here's a belt, very long one. Right. And then turn. One more, I think. And make tight.
How do I
look?
And to complete the look, I'm wearing those traditional split-toe shoes.
It's more comfortable than running shoes.
Is it?
Yeah.
There we go.
You got it.
I might look the part, but I soon realized there's more to the job than just maneuvering the rickshaw.
Many cars crossing very close to me. It's kind of scary. So this is the main street of Asakusa. We have to talk during running. Same time, I'm like, harder than marathon.
I'm beginning to think I should have trained for this.
How heavy is this?
100 kilogram.
What?
Itself.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, very heavy. Okay, you sit like this and then hold maybe here and then stand up very slowly like this.
Okay.
Because if you do like quick, the customer get feel scared.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
And the most important thing is keep balance.
Okay. Now it's my turn.
Yes.
Dozo.
Dozo.
Dozo. So now I will be slow. I will try not to scare you.
Okay. Whoa, whoa.
Okay.
Good, good.
Good? That's
Yes.
good? Okay.
You're a bit heavier than I thought.
You're
right.
Going at a nice, easy pace. Trying not to scare my passenger. Okay.
Oh, oops.
Did I just make that man crash?
Yes,
Is that my
here.
fault?
No.
That he crashed?
Maybe stop here.
Lesson over. It's time for my first customers. Okay, so they're two small children, but it still counts.
They look a bit scared. Slowly up. Oh. These two are heavier than you. Here we go. This isn't too bad, actually. Once you get going, you get a bit of momentum. Oh. They look a bit shell-shocked. High five. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say it's best I leave that to the professionals. But if you're in Tokyo and want to give a proper rickshaw tour a go, you'll find the drivers near the Kaminarimon gate, near the exit of the Asakusa metro station. Ride time is agreed in advance. The cheapest option is a 10-minute jog around the neighborhood for roughly 3,000 yen. That's about $35 US.
Well, that's all we've got time for on this week's show. Coming up next week.
Rajan's in Jaffa in Israel to meet the actors who perform as part of the world's first ever deaf-blind theatre company.
So do look out for that. And in the meantime, sign up to our social media feeds so you can follow all the Travel Show team around the world on their journeys in real time. All the details of where to find us online should be on your screens now. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Tokyo, it's goodbye.